I was asked to come here today to give a why story. But my philosophically driven mind questioned the very central tenets of what is a story? What purpose does it serve? So, for the last 72 hours, I've embarked on a journey to answer that question. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, my purpose is to place the question mark deeper within you so we can all try to answer that question together. So what is a story? A story is essentially a narrative. Throughout human discourse, we've seen stories, narratives, shape our world, our government, our people, our children, and our future. From the very beginning of human existence, we've seen it, where cavemen would mark the walls of their caves, knowing that their finite time on Earth would be outlived by the stories and narratives they tell. We've seen this again, notably in the ancient Egyptian culture, where they would have their writing on papyrus, the first known type of paper. So we, as a civilization today, can look at their stories, reflect from their experience, their culture. And again, we see this in our everyday as we read biblical stories, regardless of what faith you choose to practice. Those narratives, those stories undoubtedly shape who we are today. For a person has truly not passed on if their stories are still heard. And taking away those stories would take away that which gives our lives meaning. This brings me to contemporary times. Do you recall your parents, loved ones, grandparents telling you their stories? These narratives, these stories, they taught us a lesson. They shaped who we are today, and they shaped our community. So again, I was perplexed by this question of what is a story? Because if you think about it, stories are so elusive and powerless, yet their very existence has shaped humanity hitherto. Like a double-edged sword, narratives can corrupt and mislead, but they can also humanize and inspire. This very dual nature effect of stories is what develops the deep philosophical principles of an icon and an item. So what is an icon and an item? Well, an item is something you gaze at. But an icon gazes back at you. An idol and an icon are very different. Idols help you see in the mirror. But an icon looks beyond the mirror. And we, in our human history, have seen icons. For example, Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, Desmond Tutu, and so many other individuals. These individuals shaped our perspective with their narrative, with their storytelling. They shaped our world and how it's developed today. They offered us hope. Hope in the face of difficulty. Hope in the face of uncertainty. Well, the audacity of hope leads me to offer you guys my YMCA story. As a young boy, recently moved to Canada from far abroad, from the very get-go, the YMCA set the narrative straight. Now, unknown to me at the time, since I was very, very young, the YMCA was a safe haven that welcomed my family and I with open arms. With the various opportunities the YMCA offered, I look back on the fond memories of summer day camp, swimming lessons, and notably, martial art lessons, which my mom cut shortly after since I was too eager to practice on my sister. While I never used to pay attention for YMCA swimming lessons, that didn't matter, because the YMCA essentially was a home away from a home. It was an environment filled with heartfelt benevolence, compassion, confidence, and love. This nurturing environment lays the seeds for stories and narratives to be built. My family was so taken back by the YMCA and its values that my mother, who's here today, decided to dedicate her life to it. She found herself immersed in the YMCA, and she works in the Newcomers Connection. What she does is she chooses to work there because she wants to pass on the narratives that she felt onto others just like her. As I grew older, aged out of swimming lessons, out of camp, I spent some time away from the YMCA during my undergrad. Now, I find myself back at the YMCA because it really is home. Having an opportunity to lead the aquatics department has solidified my passion and my interest for building the aquatics narrative, building a team, leading a team. None of this could have been possible without the wonderful opportunities the YMCA served. It really set the seeds for growth to be built. The YMCA serves as my icon. Now, our regional Y actively serves St. John, Grand Bay, Hampton, and beyond. It allows everybody to have this opportunity for growth, to develop their own narrative, their relationships in an environment that's filled with love, to help build a community and help develop a better Canada for tomorrow. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's my Y story.